Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jason Rinehart with Light Painting Brushes and Coast Flashlights, and tonight I'm going to be showing you how you can use Light Painting Brushes tools to create unique lighting effects in your portrait work. So the tools that we'll be using tonight is the color filter and hood set. Now these come in a variety of different colors. I will be using the pink one to match more of a skin tone color, a universal connector, and a Coast TX9R flashlight. For the best results with this technique that I'm about to show you tonight in this tutorial, I would highly recommend using a flashlight 300 lumens or more. The camera settings that I recommend is ISO 200, f8, always in bulb. Now with these settings, it's always important to remember that what works best for me might not necessarily work best for you. Every camera is different, so it's important that you bracket your shots depending on the environment that you're shooting in. The reason for bracketing is every tool has a different light density. Now you need to compensate for that light density either by adjusting your ISO or adjusting your aperture to compensate for the environment in which you're shooting in. So before we turn the lights off, let's run through some techniques with the lights on to demonstrate exactly how we're going to create these unique lighting effects. So in this portion of the tutorial, we're going to be taking our Coast TX9R flashlight, our universal connector from Light Painting Brushes, and connect it to our flashlight. We will also be using a pink and purple collapsible light sword from Light Painting Brushes. Now with those, we're just going to do light painting on the sides of our model. I've also got the color filter and hood set. Now I chose pink to match more of a skin tone color in our light painting work. Our model for this evening is my very own daughter Jazmyn. You can find more of her very own light painting work at Little Hearts Light Painting on Facebook. Are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Let's do this. There are a few zones, I like to call them, that we want to minimize the amount of light painting that we do in certain areas of our image. What these zones are is the area directly behind your model. You can light paint all you want on the sides where your model's not silhouetted, but anything behind your model you want to minimize to avoid any kind of ghosting effect. When using the color filter and hood set, it is important to stand back at least 5 to 8 feet from your model with the lens hood part pointed at your model away from your camera. So with the color filter and hood set, what you want to do is start at your model's feet, work your way up to the head, and back down in one smooth motion. It's important to always go up and down, never go side to side. If you go side to side, that will create different kind of shadows on your model, which will also create a ghosting effect. When using this lighting technique, I would highly recommend a flashlight with 300 lumens or more like the TX9R flashlight by Coast. It will light your model perfectly. Now if you don't have a 300 lumens flashlight, don't worry, and you're using the G26 flashlight that comes in the Light Painting Brushes kits and also available at lightpaintingbrushes.com, I'm going to show you how you can use the G26 in these very same techniques. So how we use the G26 with the color filter and hood set is we just need to slow down our motion. So when we start at the feet, we just move slower and back down. By moving slower, what this is doing is allowing more light to hit the camera sensor. Now if you find that your model is not as clear as you would like, just adjust your camera settings. I would recommend maybe ISO 400, f8, always in bulb. So let's turn the lights off and run through an image. Again, my settings are ISO 200, f8 in bulb. That is a great starting point for any camera to bracket from. So the first thing we want to do is once our camera is started, just go over to the sides of your model and just start creating your light painting. Now it's important, don't do anything behind your model yet. So once we do that, the next step is we want to create a light painting behind our model. Now it's important that we minimize the amount of light painting we do behind her to avoid any kind of ghosting effect. I'm using one of the 22-inch light swords by Light Painting Brushes. And our last step is we want to light our model. Again, step back about 5 to 8 feet, start at the feet, work your way up to the head and right back down. Let's see what we got. So now that I've shown you the color filter hood set, we're now going to use the Black Fiber Optic attachment from Light Painting Brushes and create a similar result. So what you want to do with the black fiber optic is start at the top of the head, come down the face. Now when you get to the nose, you want to pull it away for lighting, come back in, and continue on down. Now the reason for coming down the face and stopping at the nose and pulling away is you want the light to highlight the features on the face. If using a G26 flashlight for this technique, just slow down the motion or adjust your camera settings to compensate for the light. Now once we get to this point, I like to let go and just kind of shake it around just to add some fiber optic into the structure of your model. So now that I showed you some techniques using the black fiber optic attachment, we're now going to turn the lights off and I'm going to run through an image for you. So go ahead and start your camera. What we want to do first is just create a light painting on the sides of your model. Nothing behind her yet. Our next step is to create a light painting behind your model. Now remember, as before, you want to minimize the amount of light painting you do behind your model to avoid any kind of ghosting. So once is enough. Our next step is to take the black fiber optic attachment from light painting brushes. Start at the top of your model's head, work your way down to the nose, pull away, come back in, and then just let go and add some fiber optic into your image. Let's see what we got. So now that I've showed you how to use light painting brushes tools to create unique lighting effects, I hope it inspires you to get out there and want to create, and we look forward to seeing what you come up with. Here are some examples of some images that I've created using these very same techniques that you've seen today in this tutorial. I personally want to thank each and every one of you that watched the tutorial. Again, my name is Jason Rinehart, brand ambassador for light painting brushes and Coast flashlights. If you'd like to see more of my work, you can find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram at Heart Light Photography. My daughter Jazmyn has her own photography light painting page. It's Little Hearts Light Painting. Now what do we tell them?
Get out there and light paint.
That's right. Now get out there and light paint, and thank you all very much.